This is Manchester United's starting 11 against Athletic Club in Bilbao if me and Maud were Ruben Amorim and picking the Manchester United side. Let's get into it, starting off with keepers. Okay, you've gone Bayindir, I've gone Onana. Explain yourself. Okay,
look, I think both of them are very similar in the way they play. Yes, they can both make a big save here and there, and on the other side, they can both make a mistake.
Yeah.
I just think, look, Onana for me, I gave up on him a long time ago. Unfortunately, I did give up on him a long time ago, and I feel like the few chances that Bayindir has had, he's actually impressed me a little bit. So you know what? I'm gonna go with Bayindir. He is injured, so he probably won't play anyway. But I'm gonna go with Bayindir.
I struggle to argue with your point. The only thing that Onana has, which is why I've gone with him, is much for muchness, is purely because he's played a cup final for Manchester United before and we've won it in terms of the FA Cup against City. He's still clinging on to that for me, but absolutely liable to make a mistake. And if Ruben Amorim did decide to go with Bayindir, I wouldn't be that fussed. But I think you've got to stick with the keeper that has played these big games before and just hope he doesn't make any mistakes. But comment down below, by the way, Team Mods or Team Beth. I feel like you'll already be beating me with this shout.
Possibly.
Let's move on to the centre-backs. So Lenny Yoro is it right-sided centre-back.
I mean, look, I think it's a pretty obvious choice. It would have been left-sided centre-back if we had all of our players available. I'm sure we're going to talk about that later on. But look, I think Yoro deserves to play the semi-final. And even the final, to be fair. He's been one of our best players in the Europa League, in my opinion. So, yeah, I'll put Lenny Yoro.
Absolutely. He has really stepped up under Ruben Amorim. Central centre-back. We've both gone with, obviously,
King Harry.
Sir Harry Maguire. I mean, Ahmad and De Ligt are not back yet. It'll be interesting to see how this team shakes up when they are back for the second leg. Stay tuned for that. But Harry Maguire has to play in this team.
100%.
He has to. I mean, when you've not really got much of a goal threat, he's a goal threat in the box, attacking the goal offensively and defensively as well. He's been super solid, so he has to be in this team.
100%.
Left-sided centre-back, who have we gone with on this? Oh, he's in again for both of us. He's in again. Do you know what? You forget he's a United player.
Yeah.
And then, as soon as he's back fit, you're relying on him to be back in the team straight away.
Yeah, I mean, look, Luke Shaw, let's be honest, the first Lyon game was a little bit shaky. I mean, not the first Lyon game, the one at home, he kind of was the reason why he gave away a penalty and whatnot. But I feel like even the last game against, he just played Bournemouth, he had a decent game, and he's just got that added experience. He's been here for 9-10 years, probably the longest out of anyone. He's played cup finals, he's won trophies with us. Look, Luke Shaw, he can play one of these games.
I'll put it simple, we have a quality issue in our squad that even though Luke Shaw is consistently injured, and he's been signed since 2014, consistently injured, yet we still rely on him whenever he's back fit because he is better than the majority of players we've got still. And United need to address that in recruitment and get better quality players in. Also, as well, you've got to remember, Martinez injured, Aiden Heaven injured, Dallo injured. Like, this does take effect, but he is quality. I don't care what anyone says. Moving on to the wing-back, see if we've got anything different. Mazraoui, right wing-back.
Standard.
I mean, I don't think there's anything more to say apart from Mr. Consistent, versatile, and in Dallo's absence, he can play up to 4 or 5 positions in this team, and that's exactly why he's up there for Player of the Season for me. Yeah,
I mean, one thing I will say just before we move on is obviously the team is very much based on who is available. I think like the next game will probably be a very different team, as in against Bilbao, and the final will probably be a very, very different team as well. So yeah, just keep that in mind as well.
Some people would argue, bring a youngster through. Some people would argue, maybe you could put Dorgu on the right, Armas on the left, but I think we've got to go with what we know, and we need to make sure we have senior players in our most important game of the season. So left wing back.
Might go centre mid now.
Oh, is it going to go across to centre mid? Let's see what comes up next. You were right, Maud. He knows the graphics more than me. Ugarte. Both of us gone with Manuel Ugarte. We will have differences, I'm very sure, coming up in this team. But Ugarte was rested. He is a bully in that midfield. Come under a bit of criticism, Maud.
Slightly, yeah, a little bit. I think Ugarte is one of those players for me. It's a case of he's an upgrade on some of the players that we've had previously in terms of like Eriksen and Casemiro. I think he is one of our better midfielders as an all-round player. But I think it's a case of he's still not at the level that we need him to be. Hopefully he will get to that level in the next couple of years. But I think right now he's done a great job and he's been a great signing. So I don't really have that much criticism for Ugarte.
I think people need to appreciate what he brings to the team. He's someone who can counter-press, win the ball back. and create turnovers that can be really helpful if Manchester United want to go on the counter-attack and catch the opposition off guard, win the ball back high up the pitch. He's a player that is fantastic at that. Okay, he's not going to be doing the most fancy passes that are going to open up a game, but what he does simple. He gets around the pitch, he wins the ball back, he creates counter-pressing situations. In a situation where you need energy in the midfield, we don't have any other members of our team that can consistently bring that, apart from Mason Mount, but he is consistently injured as well. So appreciate Ugarte for what he brings, and I think in the future he's still going to be an important part of our squad. Whether he's consistently going to be a starter, I don't know, but for now I think he's definitely come in and made a real impact on this team.
100%.
That's why he plays. Next up, we have... Oh, okay, so we've come across a difference.
A little bit of a difference.
Mods, why are you playing Bruno Fernandes a little bit deeper?
Okay, so, I mean, obviously, Bruno's going to be in both our teams regardless. It's more a case of whether I'm going to play as a 10. I mean, we've got the Bruno fan base, right? So, yeah, he's going to play as a 6 for me. I think, naturally, this season in general, under Amorim, I think he's genuinely played better in that 6th position. And it's more based on, as well, I want to get in a couple more different 10s in those 2 positions. So I feel like Bruno, because he can play both of them very well, I've dropped him a bit deeper and let him dictate play from that position. I
agree. I think he is better there under Ruben Amorim. I agree with you on that one. And if I had the luxury of dropping him back there, I would. I'm just thinking, going away from home, I want the defensive stability, and that's why I've gone with Casemiro. Casemiro's not got a future for me in a starting 11 for United, but he really has stepped up, and I think it's so harsh from you to leave him out after he contributed to 3 of the goals in the winning tie against Lyon. But the game's the game, I suppose. Yeah, the game's the game.
Let's move on to the next player. See us there.
Let's move on. So next up, left wing back.
Okay, this is a big difference. I'm gonna let you start for this one, actually.
Guys, I'm not turning on Dorgu. I still think he's got a future at United. People take things so literally, and I think he's got qualities. He's physically great. He's got great fitness levels. He's athletic. I do like him. I think he's going forward. He is exciting. However, I think Dorgu's had a lot of game time recently, and for a player that's only just coming in, only just kind of adapting, and he's, again, 20 years old. You shouldn't automatically be a starter at that age, especially if you're not performing. He's had quite a few off games now. I thought Lyon, he weren't that great either in the home leg. Harry Armas, for me, when he's played, has looked really good. And I'm just thinking his crossing has been top draw. And I think we need that if we're going to break Athletic Club down. They've got the best defence in La Liga. His crossing could be really exciting. I don't think there's actually that much between Dorgu and Armas. And I think technically, he looks really exciting. I'd give him the opportunity. Yeah,
I mean, look, I'm not against Harry Armas. I think you're right in terms of the few times that he has played for us, he has shown a lot of promise and a lot of potential. The reason why I've gone with Dorgu is, one, comfortability. We've seen what Dorgu's done a lot more than we've seen what Harry Armas has done. He might crumble under pressure. We don't know. Hopefully he doesn't, but if he does play anyway. But Dorgu, we have seen him play more games. Also, you are right in terms of, he's great athletically, he gets up and down the pitch very well. I think it's a case of, similar to what I said about Ugarte, he is an improvement on what Dalot was doing, but he's not still good enough for what we need in the future. Well, right now, to be fair. But hopefully he does end up getting to that point and he can improve on his weaknesses and go forward and be a good player for us.
They've both got potential anyway, and that's what's super exciting about these players. And I do think Amorim will take the nod and go with Dorgu. It's his signing after all. Next up, this will get interesting now. The number 10 position. So it's left-sided 10. Okay, we've got quite a few differences. The defence kind of picks itself because of injuries, but then when you've got a bit of options, right, no, we've not got it wrong. Maud has gone with Mount and I've gone with Garnacho, even though I'm the leader of the Mason Mount fan club, as you all like to say. Why have you gone with Mount?
Look, I think Mount, in the few times that he has played this season as well,
he's not started yet for United.
He's not started yet, but I feel like he's actually played pretty well. And I thought he was going to start against Bournemouth, to be fair, but he obviously didn't get that call up. But I think Mason Mount in general, across most attributes other than pace, he's better than Garnacho. Finishing, passing, IQ, decision making, experience. He's played, like you spoke about Onana playing finals. He's won the Champions League. In every single aspect, he is a better player than Garnacho. It's just the fact that he's quicker.
I struggle to argue with you. And when I say he's not started, he's obviously started for United before, just since he's been back from injury. Even against Bournemouth, you thought he was going to start. I think Ruben Amorim is still being careful with his fitness levels. I think I agree with you on every single point. The only reason I'm going with Garnacho is because when you see my striker, I need some pace. I need some pace in there. And even though Garnacho, like 9 times out of 10, makes the wrong decision, if anyone saw Ricky's card trick, that's the amount of shots that Garnacho takes, and then, you know, compared to the one that goes in.
Yeah.
I'm just banking on the facts in this game, in a big game like he has done before, you know, against City in the FA Cup, involved in both goals, has turned up in big games for United and created some really important match-winning moments. I'm hoping in a big game like this, he will step up to the plate, because one thing he is confident in his own ability. I'm using him to stretch the play. You know, if you get a counter-attacking opportunity, he can carry the ball up the pitch, and we don't have much of that in our team. If Ahmad was fit, he'd be on the bench. But for now, for the balance of my front three, I'm going to need to go with Garnacho.
I'm going to see your strikers, but let's move on
we'll
to the next one.
next 10. Okay.
Kobbie and Bruno.
Bruno picks himself for me. I don't need to talk about it. He's just got to be in the team, and I think Casemiro and Ugarte are a good defensive base. So why have you gone with Kobbie?
I think Kobbie picks himself as well. I mean, you spoke about Harry Maguire. If he wasn't for him, Harry Maguire's goal wouldn't have really been the winner. I mean,
that's true.
He was one of the reasons, a big reason. Him and Harry Maguire came on at the same time, and they both made a huge impact.
Both makeshift number 9s.
Exactly.
Providing more than the number 9.
Yeah, but look, I think Kobbie Mainoo in general is still one of our better players, one of our best players in general. I think on the ball, he's technically one of our best players. He can finish in and around the box. A great player. I think he has to start. When
you're playing a technically good team like Athletic Club as well, you want technically good press-resistant players on the pitch. Yeah. And Kobbie Mainoo absolutely fits that bill, which is why I have gone for Kobbie Mainoo as my striker. Because I agree with the points you just made. Put the ball in the back of the net, skillful in the box, he's great at them little passes in and around the box to open up the play and create pockets of space. It's going to be tough. Athletic Club have the best defensive record in La Liga. We're going to need technically good players to open up little pockets and hope that we can get a banger of a goal. He can score bangers of goals. He can open up the space in and around the box, the pockets of space. He's good at his link-up play. I think if you're looking for an outlet, he can hold the ball. Højlund's done a bit better at it, but Kobbie Mainoo, for me, the ball just sticks to him. And then you've got runners running off him in the likes of, say, Armas or Dorgu. And, you know, you've got Garnacho for me. I'm playing him as the number 9 because I just think, like you said in that Lyon game, that's a striker's finish for me. And it's a bit harsh on Højlund because he did get a goal against Bournemouth. But I think him coming on off the bench in this game would do better for him. Yeah, no, I mean, I agree a lot. That finish that he had against Lyon, I mean, you said it already, it's a striker's finish. We're not going to get that many opportunities. I mean, you mentioned about them having the best defensive record in the Liga, that's including Madrid and Barca and all these other teams. So the few opportunities we have, you're going to want the players who can actually put the ball in the net to have those opportunities, and Kobbie Mainoo is one of those players. To defend Højlund, I'll be honest, it's a bit difficult to defend him. He did get a goal. Maybe that's going to bring a bit of confidence. I just feel like having a striker in a striker position, just naturally, it just makes more sense. So he might do well. I really do hope he does. I mean, he's got a goal against Bournemouth, got a goal against Leicester. Hopefully he can get another one on Thursday and yeah, carry on. Don't you think it's mad though, United number 9, you're like, he's got a goal against Leicester and Bournemouth, like that's it in like how long has it been? And don't get me wrong, I was buzzing for him when he scored against Bournemouth. And I know people are going to say, why, as soon as he scored, would you then drop him? And I get that, it is super harsh, and it's not dropping him. I'm using him to his best strengths. Coming off the bench, 20 minutes, pace, power, go and get a goal. And I think it will be easier for him towards the end of the game than from the start. But he does, to give him a bit of props, he puts in a great press, the groundwork he does, his energy, I rate it highly. I just think when you get into the final third, oftentimes play can break down with him. He doesn't offer you much of an outlet, whereas, you know, the game's the game. I've got to pick my best team. Kobbie Mainoo for me is an outlet, and if I'm thinking if the ball's going to fall to anyone, who's going to more likely to put it in the back of the net at the moment, it's looking like Kobbie. Just because he gets into better positions. Højlund can finish, he just doesn't rarely get on the end of chances. But we'll see anyway. Let us know in the comments down below. Are you team Maud? Are you team Beth? And you can see our teams here. Yeah, you can see the teams. Who's most likely to get the manager's job at United? And do you like the new setup? Do you like the way that we have done this? We love using this set and we want to do it more often, get interactive with you guys. And if you disagree with both of us, get down in the comments down below. What would your team be? But all that's left to be said is, come on, Manchester United.